your speakers are so well respected, not only in pro audio, but also in consumer audio. So tell me, what exactly makes this speaker different from everything else in the market?
Let's start from saying which is quite popular among some people, that some speakers are good for jazz, some speakers are good for classical music, and another for pop and hell knows what. You know, there are two kinds of speakers: good and bad.
Okay.
So on good speaker you can listen to every kind of music, and of course, you know, which is not the case with a bad speaker. Bad speaker, you know, means the speaker adds some kind of color. And it's not a reference tool for recording. So going back to John Dunleavy, he was listening and he was measuring, listening. If something sounds good, doesn't mean this measures well. If something measures well, doesn't necessarily this sounds good, you know. So two factors which are obligatory for every speaker design. But you know, as a whole, a speaker contains a number of parts, and quality of each part counts. So every chain is only as strong as its weakest link. Right. So if you compromise on one component, you will not get what you wanted to have. Right. Yeah, I'll give you two examples. For instance, if you are talking about passive loudspeakers, let's talk about coil for the crossover. Very famous speaker companies are using core coils, which are the least expensive, but they add a lot of color, means a lot of distortions to the sound. So one of the very well-known company is naming speakers by famous violin manufacturers like Guarneri, Stradivari, and this kind of things. This means, you know, this speaker colors the sound. And going further with the coil, air coil delivers much cleaner sound. But if you have an air coil made with wire, it's a different story that you make it with a tape. So I'm using tape coil, which because of better skin conductivity. And my last discovery is that dielectric is very, very important. So whenever you are using as a dielectric vinyl, it doesn't sound as good as if you use waxed paper as a dielectric. Again, because, you know, skin conductivity. So you can't measure this, but you can hear it. So once again, measuring and listening, and for instance, you know, damping material, you know, commonly used acoustic stuff. It's not the way to go, and I experimented after audiophile market with Pure Wolf. It sounds different. You can measure the difference. And once again, after John Dunleavy, I started experimenting with different kinds of foams. And I don't want to discover my secrets, but it also counts whenever you cut the foam vertically or laterally. Again, you can't measure this, but you can hear it. And I don't want to mention that the size of the cell of the foam and whatever it does to the standing waves inside counts. So it's really complicated. Of course, cabinet counts. You know, the stiffness of the cabinet, quality of drivers, and probably one of the biggest challenges is to match different drivers, matching tweeter with mid-range, with mid-woofer, with woofer. It's an art. There are thousands of drivers on the market, and to find a good match for the single loudspeaker takes months, years.
Wow. So you're talking about all these components, but really the thing that makes us different is the design and the
Oh, absolutely,
designer.
absolutely, absolutely.
And how you're able to take all these components and artistically make it into this guy right here. So if I wanted to get into speaker design, or some of our viewers, how could I do that? Can I study it somewhere, or no?
I don't know any school for speaker design.
You didn't go to school.
Yeah, actually, this is accumulation of my experiences from my whole life. You know, I was studying electronics. You know, at my sound engineering department, acoustics, and also playing different instruments. So combining all these experiences together allowed me to build the speaker.